I mean, look, Chad Henne hasn't shown the flashes to be a franchise quarterback. I know this, but are you really willing to take that chance here at 15 on a guy if the value's not good and you don't feel he's a franchise guy? If they love Mallett, take him here. That's fine, but I'd say give Henne another year and see what happens. And if he really is that bad, you'll be picking high enough to take one next year. And then try to trade down because if this is true, someone might be wanting to trade up again.
Yeah, I think some of these teams are going to start panicking with quarterbacks.
Yeah, so let's look at the other possible selections for Miami. I know Mark Ingram and Mike Pouncey have been the two most popular picks, and if people in the chat have some other suggestions for Miami's pick here, let us know. We'll talk it out. But if they can't trade down, do you think one of those two guys is still going to be it with how the board's fallen?
Well, I talked to a Dolphins beat writer yesterday, just kind of pick his brain for my final mock, and he kind of thought maybe Anthony Costanzo or Gabe Carimi, and he said they kind of used the John Ogden approach in that he's playing at guard his rookie year, and then in a year from now he'd replace Vernon Carey, who's going to be do a big salary bump. So he thought Carimi or Costanzo. That was his favorite. I ultimately went Pouncey in my final mock draft, but just to throw those names out there, was two other players that the beat writer thought they could be lead, but he wasn't very committed to it. He just kept going, boy, I have no idea.
Yeah, that's tough. Ingram's still in the green room as we're looking at here. I don't think that's going to be the pick. I think they're going to be more comfortable with someone in the third or fourth round. D. Saints asking, can Miami go defensive back? I think that's the strength in Miami right now is corner. They're not going to go with Amukamara. That's the one strength on this team. I think it's the one place they're not going to look.
Well, the Redskins are in a great position right now because they could still have their choice of either Cameron Jordan or Prince Amukamara. Two guys considering at number 10.
Yeah, I mean, if Cameron Jordan's there with the next pick and they don't want to take a quarterback, I think that'd be a tremendous pick for Washington. And plus, they're picking up extra picks by moving back. Did we ever find out what that Jacksonville trade was? Does someone have that? I'm not sure if I saw that.
I didn't see it either.
Well, chat room will update us, I'm sure, of Jaguars and Washington trade. 49 overall. They gave him the 49th pick.
They did the second round.
Second rounder.
Overpaid.
Yep. So they overpaid.
By about 100 points.
Yep. So Washington, you trade down. If you get Cameron Jordan and you pick up a second round pick, how great is that?
Yeah, I mean, that's great. I mean, 100. That's basically a fourth round pick. They overpaid for it by.
Yeah, thanks to WMD and D Saint for posting that. I appreciate it. Yeah, I'm really happy with that. I think they're gonna be in a good position. Miami still has a lot of ways to go. I'm sure they're trying to trade down. Everything screams trying to trade down for them. If they do like those two offensive linemen and Pouncey and Ingram, there's no reason trying to stay at 15. I don't know if someone's gonna be willing to jump up with some of the value that's falling down here. I don't see a team that has good value to move up for a QB. The only thing I could see is if New England, and I don't know if New England would trade with Miami. I'm sure Belichick would do it, but if they really want Cam Jordan still, move up 2 picks, jump Washington, be pretty cheap, and you could do that.
And if Philly does want Prince Amukamara, it's just getting cheaper and cheaper.
Oh.
And Andy Reid, he'll be aggressive.
Yeah.
If there's a guy they target, he's not afraid to move up and give up some picks.
Not afraid to do it. And, probably what's going to happen is Washington's going to pass on Jordan, and then New England's going to end up with him at 17. I'm
sorry, but Miami wants to move down as well.
Oh, yeah.
They don't have their second round pick. They traded that for Brandon Marshall, so I wouldn't be surprised if they move down here. It's just a matter of who wants to come up and who do they want to come up for. And if the Miami Dolphins want Ryan Mallett, I mean, they could probably move down quite a ways. I don't think Ryan. Yep. I think Miami's the only team that's taken Ryan Mallett in the first round.
Well, the pick's in for Miami, and I'm being told NFL Network's giving it away, but that's not what I'm watching. So.
Yeah, don't tell me.
Yeah, no worries, I won't. I do too, and then people are tweeting at me, and I'm like, crap.
So you know who it is?
I do.
All right, don't tell me that.
I'm not. I'll leave it up. Yep.
Boy.
Oh God, I'm not a big fan of Mike Pouncey. Like I've said it plenty of times on every guest spot or podcast I've been on. You know, I think if his last name was Smith, we won't be talking about him as a first-round pick, and I'm in the minority on that one, so I'll take my lumps, good or bad, with that. But yeah, I'm not a big fan of it.
They announced him as a center, correct?
They didn't announce him as center.
I was kind of listening for that. I thought that would be interesting.
Yeah.
They can use a center or a guard, either way. And I mean, I like that pick. I mean, even you have to admit, you might not be his biggest fan, but he's going to get plugged in. He's an instant starter, and he's going to start for you for 10 years.
I do have to admit that. I don't think I can.
You don't think so?
No, I really don't. Now, look, Miami, you're in a situation with Jake Long, one of the best in the business, a left tackle. Well, you know, you put him at left guard, you put him at center. I think it's a good situation for him, but I still don't see him as this consistent threat. I think he's going to get. I don't like the football IQ. I don't think he's anywhere close to as strong as Marquise from what I've seen on tape. We'll see if he can actually play center because we haven't established that yet. So for a top 15 pick, that's just not the consistency I want for an interior lineman, a position that usually isn't valued that highly.
Well, and I really think that his struggles snapping the ball kind of turned favor against him, and it kind of tainted the opinion of him. But he can improve at that. You coach him up, give him reps, he's going to improve snapping the ball. I'm not worried about that one bit, especially with Tony Sparano as his head coach. Sparano's an offensive line guy. If they want to play him at center, I have no doubts he'll be able to do it. Personally, I like him a little better at guard, but I mean, let's face it. It seems elementary, but he's Marquise's twin brother. I mean, they're literally carbon copies of each other.
No, I don't buy that argument.
Physically.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if I quite buy the argument. I'm more of a nurture guy. I've taught identical twins, and I've had them in theater, and I've had one person's been extraordinarily talented and one person that's not, and maybe physically it's different, but I think it can go either way.
I was gonna say I agree with that on the personality side, but physically they're genetically identical.
I don't know if I can make that comparison to someone that can sing and act compared to someone that can play football, but my experience just in a talent in any type of art or skill, I think a lot of times it can be. It doesn't necessarily mean to be the same, and I don't know. I'm not sure if I buy into it, but I know I'm in the minority. I'll gladly accept that, and we'll see what happens.
Well, and on a more important note, my mock draft is back on track.
Yeah, there you go. Mike Pouncey, 15. Scott is back into it. So Washington here at 16, we kind of chatted about them. I definitely want the chat room to toss out some possibilities here for them because you still have Cam Jordan on the board, Prince Mukamara on the board. Lots of possibilities still. Those offensive linemen, they could use a right tackle as well.
Well, they know who they want, it looks like.
Yeah.
No, maybe not. I thought he was writing down a card there. I'm rooting for Cameron Jordan because that was one pick in my mock where I kind of went out on a ledge a little bit.
Yeah.
That I think I probably had different than most, so I'm kind of rooting for that from that standpoint. But I think either Jordan or Mukamara, they make so much sense value-wise, and they fit a need. Yeah,
a lot of people in the chat room say maybe they trade again. Mallett, Kerrigan, Bowers. I think Bowers is the one pick that won't happen. He doesn't really fit the 3-4. I don't really see Mallett with that system that Shanahan runs without the versatility. Now Ryan Kerrigan could be intriguing if they want that pass rusher. But I would still say, I still think Cam Jordan is a solid pick here. And Prince Mukamara, is someone going to move up for him, Scott? I'm looking at Philly, I'm looking at Baltimore, I'm looking at Pittsburgh, just a lot of teams that need an elite corner.
Well, and both Philly and Baltimore have shown that they are willing to move up, although I think for Baltimore it still might be a little rich for their blood. I think you'd have to get a little closer to them for Baltimore to move up, but I wouldn't rule out Philly. But just going back to Washington on Cameron Jordan, you look at their depth chart. I mean, Kedrick Golson, he's only played for one team, but he's a journeyman type. He's a replacement value player. Adam Carricker, he's been a disappointment. And then the backups, Philip Daniels and Vonnie Holiday, who are older than dirt, both of them. You know how old Philip Daniels is? his kid is going to be a freshman in college next year.
Hey,
He's going to Notre Dame.
keep sticking around. They can end up on the same team.
Yeah, no kidding. It's going to be a Griffey situation. So, I mean, they desperately need a defensive end in Washington.
Yeah, I think they definitely do. It's got to be to address that front seven. I guess we'll end up seeing what it comes down to. So it looks like the picks.
But boy, Washington, if they want a quarterback too, you can't play around too much. At this point, they're going so fast and furious, especially if there's a specific one you want.
Yeah, if they like, I think a guy like Kaepernick would probably be the player that Shanahan would value the most. I think that's more of his fit of the next three in line.
Agreed.
But
I believe that's where I have to go in my mock, albeit in round two.
Round two. There's no way they can take him at 16. It's just too developmental. Cannot happen. Still be way too early for that.
Kerrigan.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, Ryan Kerrigan. Well, hey, who mentioned in the chat room, I'll be interested to see where they play him. They stand him up across from Arakpo. That's an interesting duo with two very different athletic skill sets.
He looks totally different, practically, with all that hair lopped off.
Yeah, I know. What happened to the Justin Bieber hair? That's what I was wondering.
That's right. I like this kid, though, too. I think, obviously, he was very productive, but I think he's a lot more athletic than people give him credit for. I don't think he's that classic overachiever. He's a talented kid. And all season long, I said, everybody who watched him came away impressed. I don't think I ever talked to somebody that watched Ryan Kerrigan and said, I wasn't that impressed.
Yeah.
I don't know. If you love football, I think you love Ryan Kerrigan.
And talk about the anti-Albert Hainsworth. That's who Ryan Kerrigan is. I mean, we're not taking chances on the crappy character guys. We're getting great personality, great interview, does some great things off the field at Purdue. I know some people up there that just raved about him off the field too. So that's tremendous character pick at least.
Well, now looking ahead to the New England Patriots, there were all these rumors this afternoon that the Patriots were trying to trade up for Cameron Jordan.
He's here.
And doesn't the Patriots need any more luck? Oh, here's the guy that we wanted falls right into our laps.
Yeah, we'll take the next Richard Seymour right here. Thanks, everyone. Hello. That's might be what they're thinking.
Rich get richer. And bad situation with the San Diego Chargers.
Oh.
If the Patriots go Cameron Jordan, Watt's gone, Jordan's gone, Kerrigan's gone. Just about a worst case scenario for San Diego, I'd imagine.
Now, if they take an offensive tackle, I'll after my baffle in that the podcast mock, but
you were in this exact same situation.
Yeah,
correct?
I was.
And we said we don't even know what are they going to do. You know what I think it might be? Maybe Prince Mukamara.
Yeah, it's a fairly strong cornerback core with Jammer and Case in there, but A.J. Smith, that could be an A.J. Smith type of pick. I know they won't go offensive tackle, chat room. I was making a joke if you listen on Tuesday. So, yeah, now, is there any chance you think New England goes away from Cam Jordan here?
Well, I had him in the mock going with Gabe Carimi. I thought that made a lot of sense. Matt Light is a free agent, and Logan Mankin's future is uncertain. Carimi could play either position. I don't think he's a guard long term, but he could do it to start with. And you talk about San Diego, Quentin Jammers, he's going to be 32 years old. He's getting up there in years for a cornerback.
It's getting up. The Rondé Barber's still playing. He's about 62, so.
That's true.
Yeah, no, I think Prince Mukamara would just be a great pick.
The old Kerrigan haircut.
Yeah, well, that's what I like to see. Yeah, that's what I like to see. He needs to bring that one back. I guess you want to be clean cut for television. Who needs that? Bust out the Clay Matthews look. Yeah, I think these two picks are going to be linchpins if they do go defense. A player maybe that could go here, if any does go with Cam Jordan and San Diego doesn't want to go Prince, maybe someone like Muhammad Wilkerson.